Hello there, how are you doing? I hope you're well today. Welcome to Friendship Shaving. It's always good to be here. Now, I had a shave yesterday that wasn't too satisfactory with the black QShave razor that you can see in shot there. And it made me think that I would compare it to the Ming Shi shaver, the 2000S, which is the silver one that I've got in shot. So they are obviously both copies of the Merkur Futur. And if you watched one of my previous videos, you'll know that I've done a side-by-side shave between the Futur and the Ming Shi shaver. And apart from the obvious weight difference, the shave was there was nothing between them really. But I didn't think that would be the case with the QShave and the Ming Shi shaver. So I've got a brand new Permasharp Super in the QShave razor, and I'm going to just pop one into the Ming Shi. And you can see that the head cap has slightly more of an indent on one side, so you can just pop it off like that. Pop the blade in there. Let's just take that piece of paper off that is stuck there. And there we go. So they're both ready to go. And I'm going to be doing a side-by-side shave today to compare the two razors. I've got a soap today. It is one of my Wickham's samples. Let me just show you the label. It is my Wickham's 1912 Shamrock Tweed, and according to the website, and I've written it down, this is based on a favourite fragrance that has achieved cult status. I'm not sure which fragrance they are referring to, but it could be the Creed fragrance, Shamrock Tweed. So maybe, I don't know, perhaps some of you will know better. So I've got some in my bowl, and I'm just going to use that bloom water on my face. Oh, do you know, the scent of this soap is amazing. Really, really good. I really love this one. And they do a matching aftershave balm. So, I don't know, I may have to get my first soap and matching balm. We shall see. So here we go, let's get lathering the soap. By the way, I'm going to be using Cynthia today. For all of those that have missed her. Lovely little brush this is, it was an inexpensive brush. A steel base with chromium plating and just a synthetic knot, hence the name Cynthia. But what a really good brush it is. I'm loving the scent coming off this soap. I just made a note of some of the notes that are coming off it. So the top notes are verbena, lemon and white musk. Can kind of smell the white musk. Can't smell the lemon so much, but overall it just gives a nice scent that really hooks you in. The middle notes are rosewood, violet and iris. I've got no idea what a violet or an iris smell like, But there we go, and the base notes are musk, sandalwood and amber. Now I was recommended a site to go and look at. It's called basenotes.com. Chris recommended that site because I was saying in the last video, but I don't really know how to describe a lot of these scent ingredients, and I don't really know what they smell like, so it's a fragrance website and I've had a quick look, but I need to go on there again and learn a bit more about that. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a slightly smaller brush than my usual 24 mils. I think it's about a 20. Do you know what? I find it to be a really, really good size. And I was online looking at a brush the other day that was 30 mil, and I just thought that would be way too big for me. That would really be a huge brush. Drop more water. There we are, we're getting there. Now I'd just like to say thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. I've had quite a few recently. I really appreciate that you've come along to watch my shaving videos. Do you know, this soap is really thick. I'm going to add a drop more water. It's beautiful soap, this Wickham's. There we are, I think that will do. That will do. Right, we're ready for a shave. The Chinese Futur showdown. So the first thing to mention when I picked up these two razors together is that there is a weight difference between them. The QShave, and I've only got an old pair of analog kitchen scales, and the scales go up in increments of 20 grams. So this isn't exact, but it came in at just a touch over 80 grams. So I would say 81 grams. And that's the razor. Now the Ming Shi shaver, in comparison, comes in almost at 100, and I would say that it was 96 grams. So you may know better than I do. As I say, it's only an approximation on the old kitchen scales, but I'm going to set both of these razors now to setting 4, and I'm going to start with the Ming Shi on the right hand side. I do like the weight of this razor. 。 . 。  . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Obviously, some of you will know that the Futur is again a heavier razor. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this razor. I think it's because the patent was given up and the Chinese have come into the market. I've got no idea why the patent was given up originally by Merkur, but there we go. That's not anything to do with me. All I can comment on is how it strikes me. It's a little bit cumbersome under the nose. You can always move your nose out of the way slightly. I must admit, I find that even more cumbersome. So the first half is done, and that was a very comfortable shave, slightly aggressive on setting 4. And I'm going to just set the QShave, I can't see in the screen there, to setting 4 as well. Now I have a feeling after yesterday's shave that this setting will be slightly milder, but we shall see. Now it feels as if it feels a slightly less aggressive shave. It feels like I'm struggling a little bit to get the angle correct, whereas with the Ming Shi shave it was just there. Especially on these sort of areas here. So I'm already interested in how this will work out at the end of the shave when I can compare the two sides. Now let me just wipe my face. You know, it's been so cold today, but it's amazing how this little room heats up once I run some hot water into the sink. Of course, the water cools down quite quickly. Now, do you know, I would say that they were pretty similar actually. And now that my face has rested a bit after that first pass, this side feels just slightly sore, and I'm a little bit sore under here, I must admit, but they look to be quite a similar shave. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I'm going to just add a drop of water, take a bit more out of the bowl there, and add a drop of water to that. And I've had quite a busy week, been a little bit under weather, so I haven't had the opportunity to watch some of the shave videos that I normally like to watch this week. And actually there are so many people that I subscribe to and like, I can't possibly watch everybody in the week. So I have to ration my viewing time. I expect you are much the same. No doubt you all lead busy lives. Now, let's go back to the Ming Shi. And I'm going to knock this down to setting 3 for the second pass. Actually 3.5. Now that feels very smooth. On setting 3. 3.5 I should say. Not bad, and as usual I'm just doing my sort of 2 passes and a little bit extra along the way here and there. I always find that if I try and do 3 passes I usually make myself sore, so I haven't turned that down to 3.5. There we go. Now this is very gentle. I can't really feel where the blade is. I know it's there because I can hear it doing its work, but it is a gentle razor. It almost feels as if I haven't got a blade in there and I'm just rubbing the cap against my skin. Almost feels like that. But now I've been over my face a few times, I can feel it down here, so it's maybe not as gentle as I'm thinking. It's actually quite difficult comparing 2 razors. I would say that's a similar feeling on the neck. And there we are, that is the shave finished with. I must say that I'm quite liking these Permasharp blades. They are just a super stainless. Just trying to see where they are made because I can't remember. They're made by Procter & Gamble anyway. It looks like they may be made in Turkey, but I can't quite read that. The writing is so small. Oh no, there we go. It is made in the St. Petersburg factory in Russia, the same place as the Gillette yellows and some of the Gillette greens. So they come from Russia. Now I'll just wipe my face again. Well, there doesn't appear to be much difference between them. I would say that, in my opinion, the black QShave razor is a slightly more subtle shave. I've got the usual spots on my neck that grow in funny directions that I just don't bother chasing because, you know, I cut myself. So these areas here, they grow that way. And I don't bother chasing those. Because once my skin's calmed down and that all settles, you barely notice it. And, you know, nobody's going to take a magnifying glass to that part of my neck anyway. Up here, I would say I've missed a little bit there. And I've missed a little bit here. You know, normally that wouldn't be there. Whereas on this side, let me wet my hands again so I can... Oh, I've just thrown my glasses in the water. This side, that has gone just there. On both sides I've missed slightly. Just at the very top of my nose, so I'm just going to take that off with a little bit of soap. With the Ming Shi. Whoa! There we go. I think I may have just caught myself there. In fact, I'm sure I've just caught myself there. And that is the reason why I never usually go against the grain up under my nose or anything like it. Let me just clean my glasses, then I can see you again. There. I don't know, it feels a bit sore. Let's have a bit of alum. Oh yeah, that is sore. Nothing really anywhere else. Perhaps the slightest hint there, but nothing really. So I would say that out of the two, as I said, the QShave feels a little more subtle. Maybe for me, I would have to go over these areas a little bit more. I think I prefer to use the Ming Shi. The angle on it seems a little bit more intuitive for me. I don't think the QShave is a bad razor, but it's just a little bit different. And I think, actually, if I show you the heads, maybe you can see and judge for yourselves. Are they it's difficult to show, are they a slightly different angle on the heads? It's very difficult to show you, but I think that the QShave has a higher cap. And therefore, because of that height, the cap comes down to the guard at a slightly steeper angle. Anyway, that's my shave with the two Chinese razors. Now the Ming Shi was a gift, so I don't know how much that cost, but the QShave was £21. On Amazon. And for all the sort of, you know, when you're doing a side-by-side shave like that, you kind of nitpick a little bit, but for all the little bits that I've missed, as I said, once that calms down, I'll end up with a, perfectly acceptable shave. It's just that I just prefer the Ming Shi. I think it has just picked it. So there we go. And I know some of you will never like the Chinese Futurs. There's nothing I can do about that, guys, I'm afraid. But that's my shave, and I hope that was acceptable to you and of some interest. And I shall see you same time next week for another one. You all take care now. Have a good week. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. All the best.